Hi, this is Boanlan, and here I will present a lesson plan for using literature in the ESL classroom. Here is a quick overview of the lesson plan. Feel free to pause the video and take a look. The students in this class are going to be working with a novel by Theresa Toten, The Unlikely Hero of Room 13B. As the students in this class are future health, child, and youth care workers reading a novel that, among other things, depicts what it's like to suffer from obsessive-compulsive disorder, it is assumed that the students should be interested in the subject matter and that reading this text can stimulate their personal involvement. Choosing texts that interest students is of crucial importance for their reading motivation and further engagement in the classroom activities, and this is something that is emphasized by almost all the authors on our reading list. This novel deals with a topic relevant for the students in this educational program, as well as it gives many opportunities for meaningful discussions in the classroom. So hopefully it will work. As mentioned, classroom activities for this lesson are divided in three: pre-reading, while reading, and after reading activities. Some of them are borrowed from Theresa Toten's Teacher's Guide, which can be found here on this website. The pre-reading activities start by introducing the novel, looking at the cover and the title, and inviting students to speculate about the book. The teacher makes an overview on the board by making a mind map put together with the students. And the teacher can even select keywords from the first chapter and ask students to brainstorm for possible narrative links between the words as suggested in Colley. Special attention is given to the word hero, and students are asked to reflect upon characteristics they attribute to a heroic person. The students are then asked to think of a personal hero they might have and write a short paragraph describing a personal hero. Then the students are told that the main character in the novel has obsessive compulsive disorder. They're asked to reflect upon their knowledge about this disorder and are encouraged to find out more about it on the internet. According to Ronneberg, one should prepare their students for reading an unknown text, as this will help them guessing the meaning of unknown words in a context. Making a mind map, talking about students' expectations regarding the novel's title and discussing some of the main issues in the novel before reading would provide students with the context necessary for successfully deducing meaning from context, contribute to reading fluency, and motivate the students for reading the novel, hopefully. Before starting reading, students should be introduced for extensive reading, warned about the excessive use of the dictionary while reading, and encouraged to assume the meaning of the unknown words from the context. They should be explained that reading literature is different from reading for academic purposes, where we focus on facts, or when focusing on details, as we do when we analyze short texts in our English subject textbooks. So while reading this text, they should practice strategies as guessing or ignoring unknown words or passages, try to understand the general meaning and accept a certain level of uncertainty while reading, as they suggests. Using these strategies is necessary for them to be able to finish reading the novel and participate in the planned class activities. Being aware of different reading strategies will further help students in their further education, especially when they enter high level of schooling, as Helle Kjær mentions. Even though the students won't be working on their vocabulary and consulting a dictionary, using strategies for extensive reading will give them opportunity to meet both known and unknown words in a natural context and help them learn the new and different ways of using words. So reading extensively leads furthermore, according to Drew and Serheim, to better reading comprehension and improved abilities in several other language areas. So it should be beneficial for this student group. The reading session begins with individual quiet reading in the classroom, and the students are to read on their own at home. After reading one or more chapters in the book, the students gather in groups of 3 or 4 to discuss what they have read and continue reading together. In order for the extensive reading to be successful, the selected text should be well within the student's reading comfort zone, and students should be familiar with at least 98% of the words in the text, according to Day. On the other hand, students are, as mentioned, to be discouraged from consulting a dictionary while reading. As the case with most of the ESL classes, this class is presumed to consist of students with varied abilities, with some students being more advanced and others less advanced. Working in groups would give weaker readers a sense of security, as more capable students could provide assistance for the less advanced students. and someone else in the group would be able to supply the missing link or fill in an appropriate meaning or a crucial word, and the students would in this way be able to help each other deal with linguistic problems as suggested in the literature. The hotspot activity, hot seat activity, sorry. In their groups, one student is invited to take the hot seat. The student assumes the role of Adam or one of the other characters in the novel, and the rest of the group asks the character questions that relate to or are born from the novel, and the person in the hot seat responds in character. This activity is both funny as well as it helps the teacher and the other students in the group to check if everybody did their homework and read at home. This activity is also borrowed from the teacher's guide by the author, provided by the author. And for the last while reading activity, students are to choose a chapter they want to read together, each taking the role of one of the characters or the narrator in the novel. Which role is assigned to each student will depend on the length and the difficulty of the lines exchanged in the chapter and the student's abilities. With the help of the teacher, the lines should be assigned in such a way that the reading is manageable for students of all abilities. The student should also be provided access to an audio version of the novel for practice. Practicing their lines repeatedly will help improve reading fluency as well as provide valuable phonological practice in stress and intonation patterns according to Ronneberg and Sturla and Colley. The next step would be acting out the chapter and activity that would allow students to apply what they read in sort of a real world context and take it beyond the classroom setting. The first of after reading activities is group discussions. The groups are to reflect upon a number of activities, reach an agreement, and present their ideas to the rest of the class, hopefully provoking a classroom discussion. And these are the questions that there are to discuss, so feel free to pause and take a look. This activity would also allow students to practice their target language as well as express themselves in an argumentative way and interact with each other. Reading activity after reading activity 2, for this activity, students get the following instruction for the book review task. For this task, they are to include the following in the review: title of the book, author, number of pages, how long it took to read, setting, main characters, short plot summary. They are furthermore to answer to at least 3 of the questions you can see on this slide. So feel free to pause and look at them. Writing a book review would be an example of working on writing skills in the context of a literary work. This task is furthermore expected to help students explore their own responses to literature. For the aim of this task is also to reveal whether the student has managed to successfully interact with the text, or in other words, express their opinions and feelings and make connections between their own personal and cultural experiences and those expressed in the text, as said by Savido 2004. And this lesson plan is made with the hope of making reading enjoyable and encourage extensive reading beyond the classroom by working on a novel through a selection of engaging classroom activities and incorporating reading, speaking, writing, and listening in as natural way as possible. Thank you.